Hello everybody. Today I'm bringing you this layout with this darling picture of my grandson and his younger brother, well, both of them my grandsons, and my older grandson there is holding my younger grandson and making sure that the pacifier stays in his mouth. He's such a good, helpful older brother. I am going to use some Bella Boulevard papers, but I'm also going to be using some vellum here for a special challenge that I'll tell you about. And I pulled a journaling card there. So let me tell you a little bit about the papers first. That paper that I just pulled and cut is a heart paper from Bella Boulevard Cute Baby Boy collection, and the paper is called He Stole My Heart. The second paper there is also Bella Boulevard, the gray diagonal stripe. That's from Color Chaos, and it's the Scallop Strands paper. And then I have that tiny little scrap of chevron there that I am matting the photo, or half matting the photo on. That paper is from Bella Boulevard Baby Boy, which is an older collection, and it's called Mama's Boy. And then I pulled that journaling card there. That was a card that I got at Michael's. It's part of the Recollections collection. The suite there is a brand new, well, it's not actually brand new. It's an older collection. I looked it up. Well, actually, I'm not sure about this. Anyway, it's older. It's from Lil Davis Designs, and that is actually from their Vintage Wood Words, and it's the Baby Boy collection. Then what I did is I pulled some die cuts and these felt stars as well. The die cut stars and the felt stars. And those are both from an older Pebbles collection. That collection is from 2013. It's called Special Delivery Boy. And it's new to me product because there is a closeout store very close to my brother's place, his weekend home, and anytime I'm up there, which is once or twice a year, I like to stop there to see what I can find, because there's often good finds like this. When I saw these Baby Boy pieces, I thought I absolutely have to do it. So what I'm doing here is, or what I've just done, is I have an 8.5 by 11 piece of vellum there from the Paper Studio, which is Hobby Lobby, and I'm putting it over the top of that heart paper. The heart paper is a little bright, and I wanted to soften it up, so this was a great way to do that. The other thing that I'm doing here is this layout is a layout that I'm making for the Mercy Tierra Facebook group. It's her April monthly challenge, or I'm sorry. This is actually, the vellum is for Shamel Lane's Scrapbook Like a Superhero Facebook group, and the challenge this week is to scrapbook with vellum. So I thought this would be a perfect time to use this to soften that up. So the vellum challenge is from the Scrapbook Like a Superhero Facebook group. Just look it up and search on it. You'll be able to find it. And then the Mercy Tierra April challenge for her Facebook group is to scrapbook a boy or masculine layout. So this video is for both of those challenges. What I did there is, I like that journaling card, but it felt a little plain to me. So I went and I grabbed some washi tape there, and it's a silver color, and it's from Freckled Fawn. So it's a little bit more decorative that way. I think it's nice. It's not quite so plain. It adds a little bit of interest to that, to the journaling card there. So now, and actually I should talk a little bit about the washi tapes, because you can see my washi tape storage just to the right there. I actually store my washi tape in old cigar boxes, and I have 2 of them that hold all my colors. I do sort by color, but just into 2 different boxes. So what I did there a little bit earlier is I cut those felt stars off of their backing so that I could move them around on the layout until I decided which stars I liked in which places. It makes it a lot easier to make sure that I'm getting it positioned correctly, or at least what I think is correctly. So I'm playing around a little bit with those things. Now, the one thing before I glue all of that down is I want to look at my title there to see how that is going to work, because I'm imagining that I'm going to put my title right above the large mat that the photo and everything else is on. But I also want the die cut stars there to touch the other paper besides the heart paper. And one of the reasons that's important, and you can see me doing it with the felt star here and the die cut star on the bottom, is the more layers of paper that you touch with embellishments when you're using the embellishment, the more it will just bring your layout together and make it cohesive. It joins things together when things are touching each other is the best way to explain it. So I am mindful of that, but I also know that I don't really want to separate my title. And you're going to see me play around with this quite a bit. What I just did there is I took the sticker sheet from Cute Baby Boy, the Bella Boulevard Cute Baby Boy collection, and that sticker sheet is called Treasures in Text. And I grabbed a sticker that says "More than the stars in the sky," and I just thought it was really cute because my grandson's being so sweet to his younger brother there. Now I put that up on top because right now there's not a lot going up on top there. It looks a little empty, but I'm going to need to take up some of that space with the title and a couple of other things. So I will move that sticker in a little bit. It's not going to end up there. So when I first envisioned this layout, I thought I would call it like protector or protective or something like that, and I didn't have enough letters for the title. So I'm just kind of playing around with that and trying to decide, and I decided that that's too long. And one of the reasons I remember that is on the back of that photo at the beginning, I showed you the back. I had the date of the photo written and the fact that I was thinking about calling this protector. So protector isn't going to work very well for me. So I'm thinking now I want to call it caring, and I'm going to play around with that title a little bit as well. These are American Crafts Stickers foam letter stickers. I don't have a font name for them though. They're pretty old, and I bought them so long ago that I don't have the little thing where it tells me what the font titles names are any longer. So I'm trying to position that word caring, and it doesn't feel long enough or big enough for me because it's really about the same size as the word sweet, which is really, for me, I wanted that to really be a subtitle. Plus, I'm going to have a second subtitle in that sticker that says "More than the stars in the sky." So I'm going to play with this a little bit. And I'm thinking about, okay, well, caring what? And I'm thinking, oh, well, maybe I could call it Caring Brother. Now, I will tell you, I am not the most imaginative person with titles. So, you know, you don't get any fancy titles from me, or very often you don't get fancy titles. But it is saying exactly what I want this layout to say and what I want to talk about to the boys, that my older grandson is just being so sweet and caring with his younger brother. So I get the idea that maybe I can put the brother on the bottom because it's not going to fit on the top there if I leave the star there. And I didn't like it on the bottom. I also thought about layering them, but I didn't like that. And I thought about calling this Caring Sweet Brother, but I just didn't like the spacing and how weighted that was at the bottom there. So I also toyed with putting that sticker back at the top, and I'm not going to do that. You see where it's going to land right now. I decided to put it at the bottom just to take up a little visual weight right down there to but it's light. There's weight, but it's light. So I'm lining up the layout with the left side of the paper there. It's going to be, or the right side of the paper. It's going to be right justified. And while I'm doing that, I'm still thinking about that title because I'm not absolutely loving it. And I did get it off just a little bit, so I'm having to reposition it. Sometimes when you're stuck, it helps if you move on to another element in the layout that you know that you like. So that's what I'm doing here. And what I'm also doing right there is I'm gluing down that vellum, and I'm putting all the glue for the vellum underneath other things. So there's glue under the picture, there's glue under the journaling card, and there's glue under the die cuts as well to hold that in place. You know, you can also staple it. They do make vellum adhesive as well too. I just usually use it and hide it somehow, even if it means I've only got it under the picture. Once you get it in your albums, it'll really hold and it'll be fine. Unless, I think if your album's got a ton of use, maybe not so much, but it really is holds it pretty well. So now I'm playing around a little bit with the exact positioning of how I want that title to look. I thought it was a little bit too far over to the left there, and it leaves in the position it was. It left a little bit too much space to the right of that star. So I'm kind of mindful of that, shifting that around. Still playing with that a little bit just to get it right. And now I decide I do like that position. So I'm still playing around with that. I'm also thinking that I still don't like how much space there is at the top of the layout and trying to decide what I want to do there. One of the things I could have done is maybe put a strip of paper up on top of there, but then I usually actually put one on the bottom as well. And I think that would be too much weight towards the bottom. So that's why I didn't do that. And again, doing something that I know I want to do so that I can figure out what I don't know yet. And as I'm doing that, I remember that I have another, or I remember that, or not remember, but one of the things I'm going to talk about in the journaling is that he's so caring. So I thought, well, maybe I can, put it above, maybe I can put it next to it, the so part of caring. And I like it that way, but it looks like it's sort of floating in the middle of nowhere because there's nothing at the top. And that's when I remember that I have one more of these felt stars left. And I put that up on the top and I love it. And then I go back to that Pebbles die cut pack and I find this banner that says baby boy. And I'm like, perfect. This is exactly what the top of that layout needed. There's enough weight up there now. It sort of houses gathers in sort of the so caring. It's not like floating out in the middle there, because what happens is you get a diagonal sort of that goes from the star on the top left down to the star on the that I actually was just playing with there on the bottom of the journaling card. And you do get more than that, because obviously if your eye is looking around the page, you're looking at the 4 different stars, but it helps contain things. So it felt almost like things were floating off the top of the page. I guess that's the best way to explain it. And by putting that banner and the felt star up there, it alleviates this issue or that issue. So now what I'm doing is I've pulled out my Chamel American Crafts journaling pen in gray. I love this pen. The problem is it leaks the ink for me, so every time I use it, then my fingers always get full of, or my one finger on my middle finger gets full of the ink, and I hate that, but I love the color so much. So if you have a gray pen, it's really a marker, if you have a gray marker, really fine point that you like, let me know. Just leave it in the comments, because I'm looking for one. I just haven't found the right thing yet. So I'm just going to finish up the journaling, and then the layout will be finished. I'm moving around my star there a little bit so that I can journal. I was having a hard time. But after the journaling's done, the layout is finished. There will be a still shot of the entire layout and then a couple of detail shots from the layout itself at the end. Hope this finds you all well. And check out the challenges at the Mercy Tiara Facebook group and the Scrapbook Like a Superhero Facebook group. They're awesome and really fun communities of ladies. Take care. Bye.